There's a lot of fucking sighing going on over here. Deep breaths. This is pretty fucking intense. What I'm about to talk about might rock your boat a little bit, might upset you, might not be like what you think you see of me. And at this point in time, I really don't give a fuck. I'm in a pretty mood. So let me share this. And this is like the part 2 to the live stream that I did the other day. I also want to talk about our Crown Chakra Consciousness journey because we technically start our Crown Chakra on Monday. And I'm going to talk more about that. But the energy of the Crown Chakra is what you guys will be feeling this week. And so I really want to talk about it because I've been like, it's been intense and there's so many things. So let me concentrate as always and share this because I'm already mucking it up. You'd think that I would learn this after like 6 years, but no, just let me do this for a moment. Let me know how you guys are feeling because the energy's been really intense. It seems like there's been so many women that I know or not know, like I know of, like that have just passed away in the past like 2 weeks has just been crazy, let alone other things that I want to talk about. So almost there. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna take this back. All right, I just did a real and raw live stream in my Transcendence Reality Society in my monthly membership. For those of you who are in there, make sure you go and watch that because it's pretty raw and real, even though this one will be raw and real as well. Okay. So say hi, let me know when you're here, let me know where you're from if this is your first time watching my live stream, but if you're not up for some real talk and some real chat, then you might want to just disappear off the live stream. So talking about intense, everything's like intense, intensity, anger, frustration, and this is, I want to say, really connected to the Crown Chakra Consciousness because this is the birthing, right? So we're starting our chakra consciousness journey on Monday, and this is where we're going through each week. We're going through like crown chakra for a week, third eye for a week, ears for a week, throat for a week, heart for a week, solar plexus for a week, sacral chakra for a week, base for a week. It's 9 weeks, so we're doing integration week after that. So this, if you're choosing to be part of the chakra journey, basically I'm doing a live stream each week, each Monday. I'll be doing a live stream and it'll be like just public on this page right here. And basically we're going into detail about the chakra, consciousness for that particular week. But if you're in reality awareness, if you turn up to these live streams or not, and if stuff's going on in your life, you might be like, oh, what week of the chakra are we up to? Because I guarantee you it'll be stuff going on in your life, right? So the Crown Chakra Consciousness starts on Monday, but what we really go into, like the week leading up to the crown, so now, this last week, is a lot of anger, frustration, a lot of like shock in reality because the crown, so I start from the crown coming down, yeah? And we work through the crown coming down. So we're like, the soul's birthing into reality. The soul is coming into reality through the chakras, right? But the crowning of the opening of the crown is like, frustrating, intense, anger. There's a lot of like, it's shifting your reality. Yeah. So you might have had realizations this week, realizations and confronting reality, realizations and or news that change your entire reality and shift the perspective of your reality, because this is what we're stepping into, if that makes sense. So hang on a sec, I was going to bring this up. So this is very crown chakra, yeah? Okay, so maybe that's why I went off on some things at work this week. Yeah, like anger, frustration, it's when we hit this birthing point of a reality, it's a tolerance point. We're like, no, no tolerating of this anymore. It's like a reality that is just like in your face. and it's been there, but now you can't not take action on it anymore. It's like you've reached your tolerance. You're like, okay, cool, this has been going on for a while and I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm not tolerating this. Like, that's the crown chakra reality, because you're birthing a whole new reality. Like, you can't wear that old skin anymore, in a way, you know what I mean? So yeah, definitely, it's like a tolerance point gets reached when we're at the crown chakra. Vanessa says, hi, yes, my friend 36 has passed away on Wednesday. Yes. Claire says I got fired yesterday from a 9-year job. For who, can you guess why? Yeah, okay, so spot on. Yeah, and so it's like total shift in reality. It's like something you just can't do anymore, and or, you know, news that changes your entire reality. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of, it's interesting, there's a lot of people that have just passed away. I mean, like, a lot of people pass away all the time. Yeah, but then it sort of comes in waves where we notice it more. I mean, there's a couple of things about that. When we are hearing a lot of people that we know or know of in our reality, or know through someone in our reality, you know, and there might be several people in the space of like a month or something like that, like what that usually signifies is that it's like the death of something in your life, not necessarily like just a, you know, it's a death of something in your life. It's a death of what you're going through in your life. It's a death of an old part of your life, or something in your life is dying, more like a consciousness and or phase of your life is dying, if that makes sense. So yeah. And then the other aspect, and I was thinking about this morning, so when we hear of like around this time, so what is it now, June, so May, June, there's certain times that I also notice there's, you know, sort of a big wave of people passing away. Like I said, people pass away all the time, ultimately, right? But when we sort of, you know, I do notice around like just after the eclipses. So what have we just come out of the eclipse season, right? And so it's, you know, just after the eclipse season of, you know, that 6 or 8 weeks that we've had in the eclipse energy. And so now we're like sort of 2 to 3 weeks after the eclipse. I noticed a lot of people pass away in this point too. So yeah, it's just interesting noticing that. Tracy said, that's what I said, I'm done. And I into them exactly, right? It's just like a tolerance point. It's like, I'm not tolerating this reality anymore. It's like, this is not in truth and alignment and integrity, because the crown chakra, when we work with the crown chakra, the heart gets automatically activated, because when we open and our soul comes in, this is why babies are born crown first most of the time, right? So it's like, we're entering into reality, birthing through a whole new reality, right? And when the crown is activated, the heart is automatically activated. So when, you know, it's like the crown, the soul almost goes straight into the heart in a way, and it's like these are very connected, yeah? So the crown and the heart gets activated, and and that's why it's kind of like, this is not in alignment with my heart and my values and what's really important to me, and I'm not tolerating that anymore, yeah? So yeah, it's a very heart, like alignment of heart, if you may. Daniel says, I get angry when people talk nonsense to me. Depends what sort of nonsense. Like, do you mean like telling you what to do, or do you just like, you know, just normal life stuff that doesn't resonate with you anymore? Like, that can be quite normal and go through an awakening as well. Okay, so what else did I want to say? Yeah, so the hitting realizations that change your reality is really what's going on sort of this week now. Like I said, in my Transcendence Reality Society, I shared quite a lot in there. Personally, some big stuff going on. I thought I was going to share it on here as well, but it doesn't feel right to at this minute in time. But I did want to talk about the Crown Chakra Consciousness, the anger, the shift in reality, you know, that happens. And a big part of, like, you know, there's been several people that have died, and then, you know, this one last night was really sort of out of the blue, if you may. And I heard about it last night when I got home after a big day of shit going wrong. Lots of shit went right and lots of shit went wrong too, right? But was it really wrong, right? It was just a redirection to where it is right, so to speak. And what was really interesting is when I heard about her death, I was like, wow, everything that I thought was wrong, or I was angry about, or I was just like, at my tolerance level about, it's like totally obsolete. It's like, it doesn't even fucking matter anymore. But what it really brought up for me hearing about her death last night, and like I said, it's just been like death after death after death. And this one sort of, it rocked me, because what it made me realize is that everything I've been complaining about, I'm like, Hannah, you're never gonna fucking complain again. Now, whilst I'm like looking for gratitude in things more than complaining about things, which, you know, everyone should be doing, but you know, and I shared in Transcendence Reality Society that the last 2 years for me out here have been extremely fucking hard, like the hardest fucking years of my life, and I fucking hate it. I've realized that the isolation is getting to me in a way. You know, it's like, it's beautiful. I love, you know, being able to just work in the peace and quiet, if you may, but the isolation and it's not even just convenience. I mean, like, has anyone tried living out, you know, 45 minutes away from town? Like, it's a total different lifestyle and an adjustment, because you can't just race down the shop to get anything. Like, it's a full mission and planning and, you know, like time. It takes time. Anyway, so coming into that, like, it's the other thing about the crown chakra. It's an honest evaluation of reality. So at the crown, this week for me has been extremely confronting, because I'm also working on throat chakra consciousness in Transcendence Reality Society, and this is what I delved into a lot. I've been like, you know, putting all the slides together to film it. And it's, you know, this is the thing with everything that I teach, I fucking live. And the throat chakra consciousness has been really confronting, because this is not just speaking your truth, it's a living in alignment with your truth. And I'm like, well, I do, but if I look at what's really in alignment with my heart and what I value, I'm not, in a sense that, sure, I love nature, but I can't even walk here, you know, like I can't walk without ticks, you know, and then them dropping in my hair, and then spiders coming down the roof in the kitchen and shit. I'm like, yeah, this is country living, and I'm pretty done with it. Thank you very much. So anyway, I'm sourcing other places, but the point is that it's facing reality of a truth that you know, but might feel powerless over, can be confronting, right? Yeah, exactly. Vishnu says, I've always wanted to live on a property, but how far away it is stops me. And that's the thing, everyone wants to live on a beautiful property until they realize how much work it is. Everybody wants to live on a beautiful property until it's like driving, you know, it's all right if you're going on a holiday or a retreat somewhere, but to freaking like live out here and try and like, you know, and I was saying in the TRS group, like, you know, I was like, if I wasn't a single mom, if I didn't have a business, if I didn't have my animals, and I could just be here and enjoy the quiet, like, or the nature or whatever, like, sure, it might be great, but you know, so there are places without ticks, movies, I think that might have been the thing, like, yeah, I understand there's places without ticks, exactly, it's called like suburbia, and it's called convenience. It's not even convenience, like it's you know, and I know people are like, oh well, convenience, it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you live in the city too, in a way, you know, and if you don't, like, you know, congratulations, but it's not for me, right? I've got the bush in my blood, but it's not conducive to my workflow is the freaking word I'm looking for, right? Because and the thing that, you know, and I'm being really honest here, and I'm probably not telling you guys something that you don't already know, because if you're sensitive, you would pick it up, that I haven't been happy out here. You know, I haven't, you know, I've been doing my best to be out here. And again, I'm finding gratitude for being out here, because the things that, you know, after hearing about that woman passing away last night, it was like everything I'm complaining about is absolutely obsolete. But then I woke up again crying because of just all the things, and I'm like, okay, well, that means you still like need to do something about it, which I always was going to, right, in a way, but it just sort of puts things into perspective. But it's like, and I can live in this certain way, right? So that's the thing, right? Vishnu says, I looked after my friend's property with 4 cats and a horse, and it was so much work, and it rained so much, and it's so dirty. That's what I was saying in TRS. I'm like, I can clean this house, and then within like a day, the dust comes through the windows again, and the bugs, fuck knows how they get in. The bugs are there to clean up again. I cannot drink a glass of water because bugs get in it. day or night. And so I'm drinking out of bottles constantly, which I don't enjoy. And I can't even have a cup of tea or a coffee without something falling in it. And the kitchen and the spider in the kitchen this morning just walked around the corner and I'm like, oh, there's a spider just hanging from the fucking ceiling. I'm like, I'm pretty okay. I'm just like, and I've just been breaking down. And to be honest, the thing that really sort of hit me last night is not just like, Hannah, stop complaining, right? And it's not complaining, it's me living in alignment with my truth. And I'm like, it's beautiful out here, but this is not conducive to my workflow. It's not conducive to my heart. It's not conducive to my soul. You know, like, it's like I have to drive to go and have a massage for self-care. But then I'm driving 45 minutes back and my shoulders are tight again by the time I get out of here, because I have to fucking drive on country roads and like watch out for potholes, and then the wheel gets damaged and then I got to drive 2 hours to fucking fix the wheel. I'm like, I just don't. No, so it doesn't work. Doesn't work like that, right? So, and then yeah, so Vanessa says, I experienced the same. I had listened to my daughter complain for hours, and the same day my friend passed, and I felt so frustrated about her complaining. Exactly, right? Like, her passing away, or hearing of her news of her passing away, just put everything into perspective. I was like, okay, stop complaining about it. And my frustration and my anger about the situation that I'm in, about living out here and the constant work. Like, I don't even fucking run the property and it's constant work. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just like, and it, like I said, it'd be fine if I wasn't running my own business and doing all this, but you know, I know where I'd rather be spending my time, right? So yeah, it put everything into perspective. But the thing, so hearing about her death last night put everything into perspective. The complaining, finding the gratitude, it's not so bad, blah, 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 blah. The thing that really fucking hit core with me last night, after all of that, and the realizations of the reality, realizations, like, yes, the realizations is third eye chakra consciousness, because we're seeing a new reality, but this is where they hit home. This is where they birth. This is where they come into reality, if you may, right? And I'm wearing like 50 layers right now, so don't mind me, because even if I turn the heater on, it doesn't really make a difference in a house that's like, you know, these walls don't really, whatever. So the thing that hit me the hardest was like, oh yeah, that's right. And I nearly died 6 months ago. And it just, again, put everything into perspective. Like, I mean, yesterday I fucking went to Brisbane to get a third opinion on my finger. And I'm so fucking grateful that I have, because he's really helpful. And I'm so grateful that I did that, because the other doctor wanted to amputate, and I'm like, no, I'll be getting a second, third, 10th opinion. Thank you very much. So if it, you know, if it was dying and I didn't have any feeling in my finger or anything, sure, I get it. But I'm like, my nail's been growing. I can feel it. Like, no, for fuck's sake. So it's like that been going on in the background. But again, hearing her death last night, I was like, wow, that's right. I nearly died 6 months ago. And I chose to stay on whatever level, or whatever. Like, God saved me, because fucking dogs didn't do that. The dogs, you know, let go because of that. So that also put things into perspective, because driving home yesterday after seeing us, you know, with what I'd said, you know, like, and everything I went through yesterday, and I was frustrated and angry, and then just hearing that news, and I was like, that's right, I nearly died 6 months ago. And all I could think about when I nearly died was, I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful I didn't die. And it's just, it's brought it back to reality. But even before that, when I was driving back in my fucking rage, it was rage, let's be real. And tears, because I was just like driving all the way back out here and not just being able to, you know, whatever. So a little side note, like the thing that I said in TRS, and I actually am sharing more than I thought that I would. Maybe I just needed to get comfortable sharing it with you guys, whatever. Just being real. This is being real. A lot of people are like, oh, don't be negative. And I'm like, no, this is called real life. This is called reality, that shit that people don't fucking talk about. And people wonder why they're depressed and why they're because they're too scared to share their feelings. No, I'm fine. We're actually fucking not, right? If reality's too much for you, don't listen to this. But if you're like someone who likes to be real about the hard shit and all the shit, okay, like, welcome. Welcome to my place, right? I am still grieving what I went through back then. Yeah, and the thing that, I know I'm jumping, right? No, you guys stay with me. The thing that I realized is, number one, I nearly died. Number one, it's been 6 months. And I was like, oh, the 6-month portal, Hannah, how did you fucking forget about that? You talk about timelines all the time, right? And I forgot about the timeline of my own thing, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, okay. No wonder it's been so hard this week, right? Because actually it was the 7th of December, so it's just gone the 7th of June. So maybe it's, you know, it's just over 6 months, but it's like that perspective sort of pulled me back into being like just real. And also the thing, like I said, that I shared is like, I can handle it. I can handle it. I can hold it together. I can get shit done. I can manage everything. I can do everything that I need to do. But the thing that I don't have time for, and again, this is a wording change and I create the time, I get it. I don't have time. It's not the right words because you always create time for anything, okay? But the thing that I can't do the way I want to do and in the most efficient manner is be able to take care of myself, right? That's the biggest thing. And when we were driving home yesterday, it was just like hitting me like a ton of bricks. I was just like, I don't want to come back. Like, I don't want to be out here, right? It was so strong. So that's like, you know, the big realization and the frustration. And then hearing about her passing away, and I was just like, okay, none of this matters. In a sense that it does matter, and I am doing something about it, because the other thing, and it's been coming up this week, it wasn't even about her death. It was like, man, I'm about to turn 38, and I even noticed the other day, like I had gray hair or something coming through, and I was just like, wow. Like, and I'm all good for gray hairs, you know, like the silver crone, like I'm all good for it. But I was just like, I'm technically 37. I was like, being out here has been so stressful. And then this, and being constantly on edge, I know I am. And then being trying to like run a business and hold it together and like, you know, do what I do, and like trying to like, you know, I haven't been being real because I've been scared to be real, because I'm like, how can I do what I do when I know, and the thing that pisses me off is I know what to do to take care of myself, right? But I can't just duck down the road like less than 5 minutes, drive away and go and have a float or a sauna or a massage or a walk on the beach, or even just fucking go for a walk. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's like, because I know that, and I'm also not at my peak. I'm not happy. Like, I don't want to come on live stream. I don't want to share about things, like, you know, because I'm always real in a way. And I don't want to like talk about, you know, surface stuff, because I'm not a surface stuff fucking person. And I like being real, but most of my real is not really happy at the moment. And I don't want to share that all the time. Like, because I'm like, who wants to fucking hear about that? You know, I don't want to hear about people's shit all the time. You don't want to hear about my shit all the time. You know, and it's been getting me down, because I'm like, well, you know, fuck. So if you guys are open to it, available, feel called to it, pray for a new house for me. Pray for a beautiful home on the coast for me that is a beautiful space, but also allows all our beautiful animals, right? Daniel says, maybe you need a good, strong, loving man. Well, do you know what's funny about that is that, you know, usually that's the go-to. But, you know, in like recent times, maybe for the past year or something, it hasn't been what it's about. And what I've been doing recently is, you know, realizing, and I did speak about this on my live stream the other day, is that I've been living because I sacrificed everything to build my business, and now I have, and I don't have to live in survival mode anymore. I don't have to sacrifice anymore, right? I don't have to show up if I don't want to, right? But the thing is, I get depressed when I'm not showing up, because I love showing up and talking to you guys. I'm like, that's what I do, right? But is putting all the furniture in my house, you know, and I spoke about this, like all our all our furniture is about to get delivered, like I'm waiting for a call any moment now. It should be delivered tomorrow, right? And the whole house will be full of furniture. Now, whilst that's a huge shift in my reality, again, right? It's a big change in reality again, is also, you know, in that sense of, like, when we look at a masculine energy, it's structure, it's routine, it's stability, right? And if I look at my house, it's been empty, and a couch and that gives it more structure, and it's like, you know, it gives a home in a way. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, and it's funny because I've thought, I'm like, as soon as I get a house full of furniture, we're leaving. You know? And I'm like, well, look what's kind of happening, you know? So, yeah, so I'm just gonna check on these. So yeah, and I want to say, Daniel, you know, you're like, maybe you need a good, strong, loving man, and I'm like, I actually don't fucking want a man right now. I don't want to meet a man when I'm at my worst, because I don't want a rescuer, right? Like, that's not, no fucking way, right? I'm sorting out my life. I want to get stability and structure, like, you know, couches, whatever, for example. But I also want to be at my peak when I meet somebody. And I want them to be at their peak. I don't want someone to come in and fucking save me. That's my job, right? Oh, poor Hannah. Oh, I can do things for you. I don't fucking want you to do things for me, for fuck's sake. Not in that way. Not on that vibe. No. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I want to be healthy, emotionally, physically, like being able to take care of myself. I want to be in a good space when I meet someone. Not a fucking bad space. No, thank you. So yes, but not yet. Yeah. Okay, I was gonna read some of these comments because I'm sort of going off track, but so okay. I find driving stressful. Well, I used to love driving, and I love road trips, but I've got a lot of road trips out of my system now from the 2020 road trip we did. 5 months on the road with our animals in the car and seeing where we were gonna live. And then being out here, like, I was like, yeah, out here's fine, because I'd just been driving for 5 months, like straight, 5 months straight driving. And so just living out here didn't seem much. And then after a while, it was like, whoa. it became, yeah, it's a big thing. And just holding a steering wheel, like, honestly, it's just a lot. Just a lot. Vanessa says, bring our focus back to what is really important. Yeah, so that's what I was saying, you know, and that's what I was like, you know, I'm about to turn 38. Okay, I'm still 37. Let's not wish that away. Okay, I'm 37 and a half. You know, it's kind of like, I'm getting close to 40. Is this the life that I want to be living? Fuck no. You know what I mean? It's like, no, get me back on the coast so I can get back into surfing and do the things that I love. Like, let me get back to the love for my life and the love for me, and that's when I'm ready to meet somebody, right? Like, I'm willing to clean up my shit and do my life and clean up my fucking life and get in a good space before I'm willing to meet somebody. Like, plain and simple, because I don't want to be in a relationship. Like, I don't want to meet someone out of a, I don't know if it's victim relationship. I don't know if that's the right word, but you get the point, right? So yeah, and it's like, you know, brings our focus back to what's really important. It was like, yeah, you know, it's kind of like, I sort of resigned to the fact, I'm like, oh, we're just out here and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, actually, no, this is not acceptable. It's not okay anymore. Like, it's been beautiful for the time. I've learned a lot. I've fucking gone through a lot with the dog attack and just so much shit. I was just like, you know, but at like close to 40, I'm like, I don't want to be out here. Like, life is passing me by. That in my soul, it's beautiful, but I'm a beach girl. I'm an ocean person. I want people around me instead of cows. I love cows, but honestly, it's like, you know, let's get back to what's really important here, and it's what's important with my values in my life, because this like throat, and again, like I said, I'm creating throat chakra consciousness in Transcendence Reality Society, and this is what's bringing it all up. Like, yes, the realization this week, and that's what's really like forcing it, because we're birthing through the crown chakra and we're seeing new realities, right? We're coming down into reality with this consciousness. Yeah, that's the point of it. And that filters into our reality and heals and changes, like huge shifts, like in your reality, right? So, you know, coming back to what's really important, it's like, yeah, what is really important to me? And I've been denying that, if you may, yeah? but I had to come out here without those resources to heal the deeper stuff. So now I can come back, like, you know, so it's all meant to be, but Jesus, like, for real, huge, 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 huge. Claire says, your real talk is why I'm here. Okay, cool. So I get nervous sometimes because I'm just like, oh, well, other entrepreneurs don't do this. And I do the full comparison thing. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, like maybe we just talk about how much money we've earned. And maybe we just do this. And maybe like, you know, just living my best life all the fucking time. And I'm like, well, actually, I'm fucking not. I'm actually not. Let's be real. Like, okay, let's be real. I actually am in so many levels. I've reached like peak pinnacle points in my business. I'm actually buying furniture that I love and can chill out in and creating things. I've got a freaking library right here on the wall. I've always wanted a library. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm got my beautiful cowskin rug and I've got more coming and beautiful couches and 2 dining tables because the house is so big. Like, we've just filled the fucking house full of furniture and I'm actually really loving the way that I've set it up. And, you know, and I'm like, for the first time in my life, and I said this to my daughter this week, I'm like, for the first time in my life, I actually have a house. Like, it's not just like an empty space that we just do yoga on and it's all empty. Like, I actually have a proper house in a way, you know, like normal people. And it's like, you know, there's amazing I've got like, now I've got 2 team members on my reality awareness team, like staff that, you know, I actually got more because with my accountant, my bookkeeper, my website builder, so there's technically 5, my accountant, that's 6. Like, you know, there's a big team there now that, you know, is stabilized in reality awareness and stabilized in my business. Like, I'm understanding company structure. I'm paying myself a weekly wage that is more than I've ever fucking earned in my life. Like, I'm in like peak, pinnacle, amazing stuff. And I think that's why I'm like, cool, I'm full now. And I want to be of service more. And this is why with the throat chakra consciousness and what I shared in TRS is like, I don't want to force this to come through. I'm like, I live this as I teach this. I'm like, this is about living your truth, not just speaking it. I'm like, well, I'm living my truth. I definitely am. I'm eating more organic food. That's also been the big shift that's come back into recently. And I'm cooking more. I love it. You might see on my stories, my gourmet style cooking, because I fucking love cooking and preparing and like eating good food. Like, this the luxury 5-star like living. Like, I'm like, I fucking love eating gourmet food, right? So like coming back into buying and eating more organic, and it's just like, oh, I can do this now. This is everything that I sacrificed back then to get here, so I don't have to do it without stress. You know, and as much as I'm complaining about the ticks and everything, it's more about this is not in alignment. Plain and simple, it is not in alignment, and that is why my soul is depressed. Do our soul really get depressed? Is it a human self because we're not in alignment with our soul? How deep do you want to go, right? And so it's like this coming into this, like, this is beautiful and I'm grateful, and like, look at all the fucking stuff we've done and created. And I'm like, actually, I've got a proper house, you know, full of furniture that I love, and a really successful business that's sustaining everything and everyone, and like, you know, creating and, you know, training intuitive healers and life purpose mentors. And like, I've even got like mentors, counseling and mentoring the students as they go through. Like, so it's like I've got these tiers of counselors through reality awareness, training the students as well as me teaching them. Like, it's pretty fucking huge and fucking amazing. So as much as I'm complaining, it's not that, it's just coming into alignment. And I'm not just like, oh, there's all this bad stuff. Actually, there's so much fucking good stuff. And this is the light and the dark imbalance. This is the whole spectrum. And how, like, yesterday at the doctor, prime example with my 3rd opinion, and he gave me like the best news ever. And I'm so glad I got a 3rd fucking opinion, 10th if I was willing to go that far if I didn't find someone. I was like, I'm making this happen. You know, like the best news ever to the worst news ever in the same day. And the whole spectrum is like, it's fucking normal reality of like having that level of spectrum, but how do you ride that in that, right? So yeah, thanks for the real talks while you're here. So yes. Okay, so Vishnu says, I've been getting angry for 2 months from not getting paid from working at Blues Festival. Didn't sleep all night thinking about it. Decided to either let it go or go legally, as the stress isn't worth the money. At 5 a.m. I decided to go legal and fight it. I got the message to send them love and thank them for paying me, and they just paid me. I love it. Sometimes we're like, write it we're also feeling it about to happen too. I just want to point that out, because sometimes we're just like, oh, fine, I'm going to do this, and then it happens, because not just we made the decision, but we're also feeling them sorting it out. Yeah, interested in that. Okay. Okay, cheer up, you're an inspiration for a lot of people. Yeah, I know that, and it's just that, like, I'm also real, and I'm also human, and I also go through normal shit. I also go through a lot of shit people don't go through. Yeah. Leah says, mind you, love, you are most probably on the safest place with all the crap that's going on to kick off the next couple of years. And do you know what? I'm so fucking tired of living in that fear of it. I'm like, that's been my, like, I don't know if payoff is the right word. It's like, I miss the fucking beach. I miss being able, not having to drive 45 minutes to go and do something I love and fill up my cup and then drive all the fucking way home, and my cup's empty by the time I get home because I'm driving so fucking far. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, and it's like, oh, but all the world shit, and I'm in the safest place. And I'm like, I'm so fucking done with that. I'm like, the real healers live in the fucking city, man, because that's where the people need the healing. You know, not out in the fucking mountains, in the cave, away from fucking society. Like, I'm not having a go at you. I'm just like, you know, in myself, I have this conversation a lot. You know, like, I'm not a person to be scared of that shit. I never fucking have been. I've always been provided for. I've always been shown the way. I've always been like, do you know what I mean? Like, synchronicities happen, and I'm always safe no matter where I am. You know, like, yeah. So anyway, the side note, I just saw something that, you know, I don't know, Australia's just granted, I don't want to talk about it too much because I like to keep my channels open, but Australia's just granted like a permit or something, to do like spraying of the vaccine in the sky. And I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Like, you know, I'm like, see, it's not safe out here. You're fucking all safe anywhere. So what's the point? It's like safe of, you know, safety is an internal game. It's just internal fucking game, babe. Big time. I love the remoteness of the bush too. Like, I was literally born in one of the remotest places in fucking Australia. Like, I was born in Broken Hill, New South Wales. It's out in the middle of fucking nowhere, right? It is miles away. It is red dirt cattle country, right? Not even like here with, like, you know, green rolling hills, like red dirt, remoter than this. Like, I have it in my veins. But for a single mother who doesn't have family around, who needs like support from society and being able to take care of herself, it's not conducive. If I was by myself and I didn't have a daughter and I didn't have animals and I wasn't running a business, it would be a different story, but that's not my reality. So, you know, I do love the remoteness, but not for living everyday life, yeah? It is a reminder to look after ourselves, and also to not let life pass you by and go another day living a less than life that you want. Follow your dreams. Exactly, right? My back's broke, but I ain't no cowboy and I ain't going up no mountain. Okay, I'm not sure if that's a joke or your back is broken, because that would be like the worst fucking thing in the world. Could you stay on the coast for weekends to get the best of both worlds? And so I'm like, so do I take all my rats and my 9 cats and my now 2 dogs, like, back and forth, and where would we stay with that many animals, and how would we even transport the cats back and forth? I'm like, yeah, no. It's a nice idea, but the reality of this at the moment is not, yeah, that. So yeah. You have made a home out of a shell. That's right. That is right. Yes, so sorry you're not well, Leah. Please go and watch TRS replay for sure. Carrie says, I'm now 50, but when I finally accepted myself as a single mom, and then I met my husband of 25 years, this house and land suits you. I can see you miss the coast. Yeah, I know it does suit me. And I even bought like jeans from the local town, like country jeans. And I'm like, you've even got country jeans and you just ordered another pair of boots. But I'm like, that's who I am anyway. But that doesn't mean I have to live out here in it. I can be one of those, like, you know, pretend people or whatever. I don't know if that's the right word. You know what I'm trying to say. You know, you can tell the locals from the tourist type thing. Vanessa says, the intense emotions and signs hit us and know when it's time to change, move on and make change. Yes, exactly, right? Exactly. Yeah. Could it be that your house needs cleansing as it is old Queenslanders and could have past that needs healing? Yes, I've done a lot of work in the first 9 months. The old lady that used to live here, I think it was a couple, and they were around, and yeah, I've done a lot of work. That always happens. You know, when we move into any house, I think it's the first thing everyone should work on. I do that. Yeah, that's done. Okay. Okay, Vishnu says, my friend has moved 3 hours inland due to fear and said I should too because I live near the beach and there could be a tsunami. I said, no, I'm staying, I'll survive whatever happens. Exactly. It's like, okay, tsunami's been predicted since like the 1970s or 80s. I'm like, okay, am I gonna live in fear or am I just gonna live my fucking life and know that I'm safe wherever I am, and I might just happen to be on another country when that happens, like whatever. Exactly. The animals need someone to house sit. Exactly right. I am a beach girl, that's right. I'm a fucking mermaid, yo. So, for those of you who have listened to the end, there's a lot of things happening. So Crown Chakra Consciousness journey happens, you've probably seen the post, it happens every week from Monday or Sunday, depending on where you are. It'll happen every time at the same week for 9 weeks. We'll go through Crown. So I'll start the week by doing a Crown Chakra live stream, third eye chakra live stream, ear chakra live stream, etc. And as we go through to open up, but know that when we're starting to move in, we're in Crown Chakra, third eye will also start being activated. When we're in third eye, ears will start being activated. When we're in ears, throat will start being activated. Yeah, so being mindful that there's sort of 2 that are activating as we go through these next 9 weeks. If you're like, not really interested, but then in 6 weeks time, stuff's going on, you'll be like, oh, what chakra are we in actually? And at the solar plexus, all this shit's going on, and it's exactly what you need to hear. That's just the healing you need to hear in those moments too. So we've got the Crown Chakra journey starting on Monday. There are the crystalline chakra activations, which you can purchase. It's $49 for all 9 of them. And then you can listen to like the Crown Chakra when we're in Crown Chakra, the third eye when we're in third eye chakra week, so you can listen to it daily, you can listen to it once just for the whole week, whichever, but it will help to activate and heal that particular chakra as well. They are the crystalline light activations, so it is like a different frequency. It's not just a chakra clearing or anything, they're actually activating the crystalline light frequency through each of the chakras, as well as healing and repairing each chakra too. So the crystalline chakra activations you can find them on my page, or if you can't find them, send me a message. There's also my 21-day shifter program. So something that's also shifted is I've had all this like pressure on myself to like do the chakra and consciousness and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, gotta do this work. And then like this dropped in so clear on my notes, like don't work for 3 months. And I'm like, what do you mean don't work for 3 months? And it was like, no, like it was like take that pressure off of trying to like get the throat chakra consciousness done, the heart, the chakra consciousness journey, right? Like the actual rapid ascension awakening. So the 9-week journey is just like a taste of the chakras, right? And then I'm actually creating a full course on each of them, which is the advanced chakra. Sorry, it's the advanced certification, right? For the intuitive healer and life purpose activator. So it's the advanced certification, and it's fucking massive. Like it's huge, right? Everything has got about 100 videos in it. Like it's massive training on each chakra consciousness. And so anyway, when I got the message on Monday, don't work for 3 months, it was like, don't force this. And I was like, well, that makes sense. And it's like, cause I live it as I teach it. And I'm like, well, I'm not living this truth that I actually need to be near the beach, blah, 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 blah. So it was like, just put that down. And I got really excited because then they're like, just focus on your clients, just focus on trust intuition, because we're up to module 9 next week and teaching that. And by the way, doors for trust intuition open. The early bird enrollment opens in August. And it will I don't know if it'll just be for a couple of weeks in August or whether it will be for the whole month of August. I haven't got that message yet, but early bird will be open for August, and then it will close, and then we'll open it again at the end of the year, but it will be full price then. And when we're doing our next round of the certification of the training in 2023. So that's for the 2023 training. So that opens then. And so I got the message just to focus on finishing, like going through the training, focusing on my clients and focusing on finding a new home. And I was like, well, that feels really fucking supportive. So I got excited because my 21-day shifter program is open. So this is 21 days working with me, voice message, text message, depending on the style and the way you work. We could do phone calls in there as well. It just depends on what works best, because some people only like voice message, text message. Other people like, you know, doing both, and other people just like phone calls. So, you know, it is customized, but it's intuitive to what you work best in the space, because it is 21-day shifter program. It does shift stuff that no one has been able to shift for you before, because of the space and the light dark spectrum that I hold for people. It's just who I am. Yeah. So 21-day shifter program is open, and then also platinum is open. Platinum, like, downloaded this week in like the hardest. I was like, when I finished it on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it was just like, wow, that was like the hugest fucking download of a program I have ever witnessed and experienced in my entire life. Platinum is something else. Platinum is through the others, and platinum is the upgrade to transcendence. So if you've been in my transcendence 6-week program before, platinum is a 6-month program, and it's like the up level to transcendence. It's the same energy frequency, but it's platinum. It's something different. It's not transcendence. It's like it, but it's not, but I can feel it. And basically, this is a sacred space that for 6 months, for 3 weeks, I'll be doing live streams. And then there's a week of integration, 3-week live streams, and then a week of integration for 6 months, which will lead us right up until transcendence again in January. And when this downloaded, I was just like, this is something else. This is a different frequency. It's just so different. And I'm like, oh my God, just let me drink this up right now. Like, it's just the energy of it is so phenomenally different and potent and powerful. So I do have a page with all the details, but you're going to have to private message me, Platinum. So don't comment it on here. Send me a message on my Reality Awareness on my personal page at Hannah Andrews, and just type in Platinum, but send me a message. If I send you a message first, it goes to your spam folder, and we're going to get confused with the actual spam people who send you messages. And I'm like, no, I don't send messages. So you have to send me a message. Just say Platinum, and I'll send you the link. You can have a look over all the details. It is something else. It is something phenomenal. And for the next 6 months, I'm so looking forward to sitting in this energy with you and drinking in this platinum vibe, because this is just something else that is downloading. So I'm really, really excited to take you guys through this. It is something else. So really looking forward to this. And it just feels big, but it's a frequency shift big. Is something else. So I'm freaking loving that. So to recap, is the crystalline chakra activations, the 21-day shifter program, platinum, and then also the chakra journey starting on Monday. So if you got any questions, send me a message. Vanessa says, yep, I get it. I lived up in the beautiful rainforest when I had young kids and needed to be closer to places where we had to go, and also contact and support. Exactly. Yeah, the bush for single mums is not a place. It's not a place. Nope. We need connection. So, yeah. All right. I love you guys. If you got questions, send me a message, comment below, and I shall see you soon. Keep it real. As always, that's my purpose. Keep it real. I love you.